script is curtailed version exclusively for non-billing showcase. There are differences between the original scripts, such as editing the narration and elimination of a certain scene. Text. Han, male, 19, North Korean youth defector. Han, female, 19, North Korean youth defector. Han, male, 19, North Korean youth defector. Jung, male, 45, head of Hamba Psychotherapy Center, carries out the free psychotherapeutic and consultation for North Korea youth defectors. Jung, female, 40-some, high-level civil servant, graduated from the same college as Young. Boatman, male in his 70s, the person in Young's hallucination. Time, modern times. Scene 1. Jung's office. Young and Jung comes into the view. Mid-40, psychology, Young runs the psychotherapy center and then carries out a free consultation for North Korean defectors. Now, in order to get the government aid, he met Jung, high-level civil servant.
Telling refugee kids fables and then letting them create them, kind of game and the way of thinking.
Tell me more about it in detail.
Well, when I tell the story of the Fountain of Youth, Han recreates it based on his own life experience.
One side of stage, consulting room, Han, sitting.
Once upon a time, there was a building. All the children marvel of old. Maybe it's only the old, but that thing that old people do. Feeling happy or sad or old or insane. But there was an exception. A grasshopper who was full of curiosity entered the deep, deep forest and discovered a fountain of youth. Did you get it? The fountain of youth. You just told me about it. Once he drank from the fountain, he became young.
What's he saying in the story?
I asked him the same question. Why did you change the story in this way?
Because I was a building. The building will become young. I created it.
There's a point when the fable becomes its own story.
Shortly, the stage turns into the mountain valley in Hamhung province, located in North Korea. Han follows the sound of frogs and catches in his hand. Then as something rushes upon his mind, he looks up in the sky and gets a frog.
Look.
Han chases to catch the object coming down from the sky.
And what was it?
That was his fountain of youth. That's what Han meant.
Han finally catches the flying object.
A plastic bag attached to the round, white object.
Balloons. He found balloons from America.
How? Are you sure? All the way from America.
See, Han opened the plastic bag and found an envelope.
Following Young's word, Han opened the plastic bag and finds a white envelope inside.
Toilet clothes. This is invented by America in order to help North Koreans escape. Unassembly instruction manual is attached. This book was invented following the North Korean Human Rights Act enacted in July 2004 by America.
Han assembled the toilet boat according to the manual.
Han told me he read the North Korean Human Rights Act, enacted in 2004 by America. Later, I did some research and found out that the Wall Street Journal had a contribution from a Dr. Flaschen, a German medical doctor who was on the front line of refugee relief.
The only way to get rid of North Korean nukes is to get rid of Kim Jong-il. And the best way to achieve this is mass-producing North Korean defectors. One very effective way for this to happen is having North Koreans know about the outside world through radios that we send
reported that Flash was planning to send 600 radios to North Korea.
But Han said what he got wasn't a radio.
But in English, toilet. Yes, a toilet.
600 toilets disguised as radios.
I can go to other countries right in this toilet.
Of course, America promised it. Both Korean governments, they sent radios to each other in order to propagandize their own systems, but they gained very little. So, they switched radios with
Toilet. The common toilet that I know. In other words, Dr. Jung, the head of Hanbat Psychotherapy Center and the psychotherapist, is about to rewrite the history of the toilet. You'll uncover a world conspiracy, the world hegemony that's linked to the toilet, the history of world power.
toilet boats. Isn't that an open secret? You're not denying it, right?
I can say it doesn't exist, regardless of its existence.
So then you are acknowledging its existence, right?
Dr. Young, these application documents for now reading. All of the application papers for your research and a grant you've been checking, think about it. What's the purpose of all this?
Well, to provide the North Korean youth defectors with free psychotherapy, education, all that at the center.
Application to get funding for all of this from the government, right? Yes, I'm in charge of this governmental body, and you're my protege. But the toilet, America sending toilets with balloons and kids riding here on toilets. Do you really want me to submit this on the application?
Are you saying I should stop them?
Stop what?
Stop them from talking. Do you think I should do that?
The stage darkens. Scene 2. Office. Young and Jung in a meeting.
Mid of April 2005, also known as Toilet Boat Day. It was the day when hundreds of North Koreans escaped from the north riding on 600 toilet boats, riding on toilets that were assembled following the manual sent by America. On that day, Han got on the toilet boat with her mom. She couldn't talk about the incident for a long time, but instead, she recreated the old story.
The boy who had become young after drinking the fountain water spilled on more water and ran to his mom, and her face bloomed just like a magnolia blossom, but then immediately crumpled up like an aged flower's head. Yes, the body was too weak to withstand the mysterious power of the water. The crumpled magnolia hair fell on the back of the boy's neck. What was left on his neck was the indelible mark of the magnolia hair.
What's this? Is this what was written in the manual that the boats were made of?
Han, in the memory of Young, keep on reading the manual.
It was written in the manual that they become as strong as a sail battleship in an environment of more than 50% of moisture and 15% or more of salinity.
A steel battleship. That's strong.
Its heating systems are working automatically according to the temperature of the people on board. And in case of a typhoon, it lowers them to the air just like a UFO.
Wow.
And UFO.
It would be fantastic if it were, but what they found after arriving in South Korea was that the material for the toilets that America sent to all the toilet people in the world was, the yellow rubber that's used for those duck toys, the common toys children play with in the bathtub.
I'm thinking the same. Unless we're talking about science fiction.
Well, that's why I was thinking that this is the material not for body engineering, but for psychological engineering.
Psychology.
Yes. The kind you feel when you're petrified.
We've got to believe the promise. It's a great country name. It was written in the manual too. What was it? Yes, the Cuban refugees. They are also in the same promise.
For a month in the summer of 1996, believing in what America said, many Cuban people got on toilet boats to escape Cuba. But when the Cuban refugees exceeded more than 10,000, America captured them and sent them back to Cuba. The original purpose of all that was not the refugee safety or human rights. It was to bring about the collapse of the Cuban system. After quite a long time has passed when we were talking about that day. He says just utter years.
Han reveals in the drive. Keep on talking as the way Young remembers.
The storm became stronger. The moment I slipped off the boat and fell into the sea, not knowing how to swim, Mom grabbed on my neck. My head was pulled into the water several times. I couldn't breathe. At one point, I shouted, Mom, Mom, I'm drowning. I'm dying. It was then that Mom took her hand away from my neck and then sank into the dark sea water.
The stage darkens. Scene 3, counseling room. Young leads the therapy session on Han.
In session, he tends to be rebellious and only answers my questions in silence. But still, I don't give up on him. I still keep on talking to him. So, you're attending a prayer meeting. How is that? What do you do there?
Happening. Like, when my mom died, so many people have killed. How much I'm thankful to those American missionaries who supported the shitty way out of the country.
Every week, he goes to church once a week to give testimony, and in return, he's getting a church scholarship. I know what his mind has gone through, how much pain is on that boy. His phenism, his coping mechanism, it gets thicker and thicker as he continues to talk and smile.
People burst into tears and laughter stories as I am battling. Making you cry. Then they give me money. People pay for crying. South Korea, of course, captured the country.
Ask the kid, who introduced you to this violent nonsense?
It was the person at the Department of Ministry or something. Maybe not. Forget about it. Just not that.
Young, approaching to June at the side of the stage. The time and space slides back to the meeting in office.
It's not just ill-tempered, but he always implies something. Or help. You by any chance know about it?
Know what?
About the government official who introduced the religious organization to Han.
What about it?
I'm asking whether there are special personnel in the government to control and manage North Korean youth from the time they escaped from the North to when they settled down in the South, and who continuously introduce American ultra-right religious groups to the youth.
Individual monitoring of North Korean kids. Do you really want to bring this up just based on what some boy said? Come on, Dr. Young.
I'm not saying this after listening to just one boy. I met many who talked about the same thing. I don't know what exactly is happening on the government level, but if something happens, the staff of your ministry will end up implicated in the matter.
Well, you don't have to worry about it now. And it can't be a big deal anyway. So, let's get this done. Beginning here. Now starts the process of escaping from the North. Post-traumatic stress after escaping. What do you think?
The stage darkens. Scene 4, office. June and Young, still on the meeting.
End of April 2005. Han was rescued from drowning by missionaries and stayed at the North Korean Youth Defectors secret shelter run by an American ultra-right religious organization. Except for her, most of the refugees were murdered by North Korean government, and the toilet bowls were all discarded.
Killed and discarded. Are the refugees supposed to be sent to an internment camp?
Well, the toilet bowl project is originally an open project for North Korean refugees by the ultra-right. It was all over the news. It's designed to put pressure on North Korea. However, most of the time, the reaction from the North was to just kill all the refugees, to shut them down.
This is quite detailed.
But it is important. East and West Germany have promised not to use refugees as means of political propaganda, and thus, both countries have a very limited number of refugees politically suppressed.
What's your point?
What do you mean?
The solid purpose of this project. North Korean youth defectors in great need of psychological consultation due to extreme trauma from their escape. Isn't that what we're going after?
Are you saying fighting about the news of toilet votes on cable TV.
What? You better! Told you not to say a thing to those people!
Get your hands off me, Doctor. Do you really think you shut them up and no one ever know about this? They will know everything eventually.
What everything?
Toilet votes! This is the way to go.
I know it too. You can play dumb. Because they are different from the psychology counter. Don't you remember? When you just arrived here in South Korea. They can steal and murder.
Young walks across the stage. It turns into the meeting with Jung in his office.
They. June, is someone monitoring the kids? I heard the kids say they. That's the proof.
Which one out of 3 kids? And who talked to whom about it? What was their name? They all have similar names, right? Something like Khan.
As usual. And it's not just you. All the workers at your department, they're all the same. Because the kids have the same name, you treat them as the same person. Why do you think that is?
What are you suggesting, Doctor? See, those cable stations are different from the regular ones. They'll be roughed up with their mouths stitched shut. And meanwhile, your name will be the one bandied about. How will you deal with it?
Young brings the memory of Hans.
Will there be more then? If you don't say anything? If I don't talk about it, you won't survive.
Tell me what you really want.
To unveil the truth. That's my decision. I can't just ignore what the boys have said. Personal level, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. No need to be. But I will see rather that you keep up with confidence. Confidence that you can walk in their shoes, that you will understand the kids better than anyone else.
Understand.
Oh, yes. Knowing and understanding in detail. Process of problem solving always entails specific steps and extreme difficulties. Delivering false reports, suing and endangering career and life, and of course risks caused by external threats, blaming and pointing fingers at each other, misunderstanding, hatred.
And
Once all those things start to happen, truth becomes obscure. Your daily life is destroyed. People stop trying to walk in other people's shoes. And that's the detail that I was talking about. Detailed process to understand pain of others.
thank you for the nice words.
Young gets up and takes steps, but as if he's dizzy, he stumbles before standing still. June asks him, without taking her eyes from the paper.
Are you okay? Still having problems with sleeping?
No, I do sleep, but I have the same dream over and over.
What dream?
Waiting in line to get on board the toilet.
Black out. Scene 6. Young's dream.
In my dream, I was urgent, looking for a toilet. As I was walking, all of a sudden I realized I was at the side of a river, illuminated in mystic red light. Yes, this is a dream. Beautiful, but weird dream. People are standing at the side of the river with waiting numbers in their hands. They show them to the boatman. He will rearrange the lines according to the numbers. I asked the boatman, "Where's the toilet? I really need to go."
No one's not in a hurry. Check your number.
I rummage through my jacket and pants. The ticket finally comes out of my shoe, but it's all tore up. Shit! Trying to put the little pieces back together. What is my number? B8C3? I really need to go to the toilet. God, people disappear with their assigned toilet. There's only the boatman lying on the side, smoking. An old man giggling at me. Some sick bastard ripped my waiting ticket.
This you do.
Nonsense.
You always wait in line to get one. Then whenever you get it, you tear it up. You want too much. Or don't want what you really want.
What are you
suck someone's dick if they ask you.
I'm desperate too.
A1. The first ones to come at dawn. The earliest bird. Your kind come here earlier than anyone else and gets on the toilet bowl. You don't really need to come here again, but you come back anyway and watch the others alive. Watching them pitiful, sometimes contemptuously. You also want to help them try to get on the toilet boat with you. That's why you're not mistaken to them. Why? You're already on the boat. Yeah, you're different from them.
Different?
See, you can't get on the same kind of toilet boat that they get on. You can't even see or touch them. Why? Because you don't have the urgency they have. You just want to know what the urgency is.
I don't know. I was in the same line with them.
Well, now it's time to go. You're a kid. They're waiting for you. You'll know when you get there.
Stage, black out. Scene 7, office. Jung and Young sitting face to face.
You're stopping it. You're fact-finding. What happened? Haven't you met some people to investigate?
I don't know what I meant.
Hans slowly appear on the stage. They enter and act as Young asked them.
Toilet bowl. You told me that's how you got here.
No,
I don't know.
it was more of sibling work, right? Sibling.
What's wrong?
Well, they tried to be calm, but they were afraid. That was the kind of word they used before. Who said that word to you? Who? Has anyone come to see you?
No. No one.
Tell me, if anyone scares you or makes unreasonable demands,
It's all symbolism, that's it. You know the one, right? That's an high-level word.
are you saying we're riding on the toilet boat to escape, that was a lie?
Yes.
You don't need to be afraid. Need will protect you. I'm asking this not to hurt you, but to understand you. Please, I just want to understand.
To understand. Really? You don't try to make this word. What the fuck do you know about it?
Again, in office. Jun looks into the funding application that Young wrote again.
Oh, you did it over. Government support is needed for the Psychology Consultant Center for North Korean youth suffering from traumatic wounds after their escape. Got the point? Well done, Young. But
Young cannot hear what Jun has said. His mind is not there.
Dr. Young, where's your head at?
The kids. Potential devastation, depression from long-term exposure of external threat, possibility of abnormal behavior.
Abnormal behavior. That's exactly why they need your counseling. Relax and wait. Don't worry too much until it happens.
From the dark, the illusion appears though only Young can see. Boatman. He lies on the side of the stage, smoking and glancing Young. Old man goes tut-tut and chuckles. Black out. Scene 8, counseling room. Young, sitting in the dark, all by himself.
Abnormal behavior. So I was concerned about it. top of a building every dawn. He floats himself in the air. I'm worried to death of what he's planning to do. The other kids came to me and told me everything.
I looked at Oscar's eyes. No, he was not floating in the air. He was on the rope, tied the rope on the rooftop and walking on it. I saw it.
Han slowly take a foot on a rope, tied on the rooftop. A bleak sound of the wind. Blackout. Scene 9, in dark counseling room, Jung and Han.
Abnormal behavior. I had to meet him to know what's going on. Did you really walk on the rope on the rooftop? Why? Why would you do something so dangerous?
Walking on the rope on the rooftop? Have you lost your mind or something?
How's school? It's not easy to adjust, huh?
So, I'm having a tough time adjusting to school and ride on the rope in the air. Motorcycle sounds more convincing, doesn't it?
I'm not blaming you here. It's the system that puts you in there. You're almost 20 and you used to catch frogs in the north. The system places you in middle school, then moves you back to elementary school.
Sounds just like some lines out of textbook. Look, do you know what makes us have the most person? It's a prejudice about the North Koreans that they all go through a hard time just like you. You have hustled us many times. Why? You do to be seen as some field researcher. I got it. I know it. I mean, I wonder why the son of which has lied. He wants you shitting your pants.
What are you talking about?
See? You made us shitting our pants first. So, he wants to do the same to you. You get it? You always told us, tell you the truth. I will protect you all. Blah, blah, blah. Nonsense! Come on! You used us, sold us out to become famous. That's what you actually did. While you are enjoying popularity, do you know what it has cost? You can't even imagine. See? Let us have your plan.
That's a misunderstanding of yours.
Whatever. But to tell you what's really going on. It was all a lie.
What lie?
I have done it, but that's what it is.
Really?
South Korean toilet boat. He's practicing to ride on it. It's for flying in the air over Seoul.
What?
South Korean made toilet boat. They said you can fly in the sky on it.
South Korean made.
I don't know. Ask the master. He was the one doing the shit.
South Korean toilet boat. That was something I couldn't even imagine before. What is that? It's too much for me. I just gave up my investigation. But when you consider this incident as abnormal behavior, this has to be checked through. I decided to confront her. Simple, direct question. Is that you who actually goes up to the building at every dawn?
South Korea made toilet boat? Me? Nonsense.
Han keep on defending their innocence and pointing fingers at each other.
Do you know what was here?
What?
Toilet. Toilet is nice in the dark.
It was the South Korean made toilet boat. True, I saw it.
Yep, I saw it.
The rest of the story, you will know.
Yes, you will.
Not me.
You will know.
The kids disappear into the darkness, back to the stage and the office. Jun has been listening this story from Jung.
See that? The situation is quite complicated in
Koreans will postpone.
Danger. Danger to the kids comes from you, Dr. Young.
What?
You forgot about it. It was only 3 years ago. Remember, when you stirred up the whole country with something which the whole world denied existed, and you put the kids on the front line. It was just a few years ago.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I understand that this can be good for you. Gain popularity. I do understand.
Young cannot continue his sentences. Painful memory filtered across his mind. Black out. Since then, a month later, Young and Jung is sitting. Today, the government made a decision on the state aid. Jung is here to tell Young about the results.
Jung asked me urgently to come to her office. She shows me the announcement paper for the state aid to be made public 3 days later. Hanwha Counseling Center is the leftist for the state aid program. The amount of financial support from the government is so much more than I had planned for. But as I read on, Hanwha Counseling Center has also been selected for direct management of state. Including Dr. Young, the counselors and staff of the corresponding center will be replaced. It also mentions that the next head of Hanwha Center will be Jung Sr. at the State Department, and he will be in charge of selecting the new members of the center. So, literally, they want to fill the bellies of state representatives, and my center will be the cover for it.
That's not so, Young.
How is that not so?
Don't you remember the incident that happened 2 weeks ago?
What is it?
Of course, you'll be the one who feels the most sorry,
Why are you saying that?
because it's related to the result. The kids who you were in charge of, what were their names? Something. They escaped from Korea and went to Canada 2 weeks ago.
So what does that got to do with this?
Someone must take responsibility for it. That's how the higher-ups see the matter. And since they know me, they wanted to give me the funds, but this incident...
You know what happened? I tried to help them. Was that wrong? Was that my fault? Did my staff do the wrong thing?
Officially, please try to understand my wording. But this isn't the first time you feel. In other words, you are a habitual offender.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember another incident that happened 3 years ago? A girl under your care turned out very badly. A very serious case.
You're not blaming me for that, right?
Listen, I'm saying this because I care about you. Back then you said there was pressure on the girl, accusing the government officials. You said that something's happening to her for them.
It's slander!
But it isn't. I even remember the remarks you made at a forum. It was when a reporter asked you about the girl. You said that you will never, ever forget that there are various factors and conflicts in a democratic society, and not everything has a logical progression. Sometimes there will be victims without reason. It's always been that way, always.
Do you really think that I said that? Do you know how much struggle and pain I had to go through because of that edited article? That quoted my words here and there and then patched them all together?
Well, I thought it could have happened.
How can you, all people, do this to me again?
Well, these are not my words. I just want you to know that there are people who see you from that angle. So be careful. See, people can be seen differently from different angles.
What are you trying to say?
Do you think that one's sense of justice can be free of one's desire? The desire of showing oneself in a favorable light? It's either people see you with prejudice, or are you really... Haven't you thought about it? Do you believe that the best way was to try to walk in their shoes? Back then, they must have gone through a lot. Didn't you notice their suffering?
I think I know what I'm doing, but sometimes
the stage, Jung lifts his head to catch the sound of the wind.
They used to tell me how the wind blows from the top of the building. I hear it too. It never leaves.
Once again, the sound of the wind fills the stage. Short pause. Jung slowly gets up and walks out. Slowly, black out. Scene 11. A month later, counseling room. Jung is sitting alone.
A month passed after the kids left. I get a letter from him, a letter from Canada. Han would be ashamed to leave a big mystery like the South Korean toilet boats in the dark. Just like the North Korean toilet boats, the South Korean ones also have lots of ridiculous functions that are made out of impossible materials. Push the button and the spout of toilet water will shoot up, sending us the toilet boat past 980 meters in the sky. Well, why? What's the point of it? I wrote the answer to that question in the letter as well. 980 meters in the sky. That's the height of the Namsan building. They said up there they felt under their skin. What's the state of light at 980 meters in the sky? What's it take to stay that high? The anxiety and the fear of falling, even the thought of it. They realized that these are the common emotions from the South Koreans who live in Seoul. Han said that's how they felt in this country, riding the South Korean toilet boat. Kids face many people in this country. Prosecutors, bar examiners, professors, scholars. But they'd be satisfied to ride the South Korean toilet boat. Did you enjoy the ride? It was horrible. What happened?
So many buildings. There's been so many skyrocketing buildings from the town.
And there, our flat. The government rented us. Crappy basement apartment with cracked walls. We couldn't make the transition from the height of Namsan building to our apartment. Therefore, back to the roof.
Only way they were born.
After settling down in South Korea,
About a year, right?
right, after a year, anyone can get the special South Korean toilet boat from those people.
From special people.
It's a boat. What special people?
That's it. No more questions.
No. What do you mean people? Who are they?
Oh, yes. By the way, why do you have to ask so many questions?
I want to ask you some questions too.
Who are they? Is it true? Did you just lie to me? Tell me.
If I ask the same question, what would you answer?
What? The same thing you always did to us. Well, what story will you make up today? Go ahead.
Voices of the Hans are bouncing off the walls of my brain. They ask me questions and tell me to recreate a story. I hear a chuckle behind me. As I turn my head, there's the boatman lying on his side, smoking. He chuckles as he looks at me.
There's a present for you in the envelope. Well, next time, I will go first. Once upon a time, there was a village. All the children had their tongues melted down, so they could speak.
Someone put hot gum in their mouth.
She was very brave.
And liked to hold. And the man,
He stopped.
Go ahead, please tell the next story.
Or the one we don't know.
it's your turn to make one up. Once,
Upon a time,
A long, long time ago.
go ahead. Continue.
A short pause and silence. While chuckling and clicking his tongue, the boatman at the one side of the stage looked at Jung. Sound of toilet people speaking. Wind blowing between the buildings, swept through the stage.